Hello student, welcome to my online classes. In this presentation, we will learn about lesson 7, that is interdependence in living being, that is plants and animals. So we'll see the content parts. Number 1, living and non-living components of environment. Plants are producer as you see in the image. Consumers, scavengers, decomposers, we will learn about these. Second, we will also learn about food chain, how the organisms are interlinked to get their food. Third, interdependence of living organisms, how the living organisms are dependent on others as you see in the picture. The flowers, butterfly help in pollination. And the last, causes of imbalance in nature. Proceeding further, first we will do the rewind, means what you have learned in your previous classes. In your previous classes, you have learned about producer. As you see in the picture, plants are the producer because they make their own food. Next is the herbivores which eat the plant product. As you see in the image, horse is there. The third criteria is omnivores which eat both plant and animals. And the last is the carnivores which eat flesh of other animals. So tiger is the carnivores. So these all things you have learned previously. So in this presentation we will learn living and non-living of the environment first. Our environment consists of both living and non-living organisms. Plants and animals constitute the living part, means plants and animals make living part of environment. Air, water, sunlight and soil form the non-living part of the environment. As you see in the image, both living and non-living part means things are given. Living things are also called biotic and non-living things are also called abiotic. Now in living things you see what are there? Plants, animals, bacteria, fungus, protists, these all are living things, means biotic components of the environment. The right side are the non-living things like water, soil, air, minerals, light. They all are non-living things. Both together forms the environment. So, the living component depends on non-living ones in many ways. Means the living things are dependent on non-living things of the environment. Let's see how. So, number 1, plants are producer. Now why plants are producer? Because the plant are the only things that make their own food. That is why they are called producer. They can make their own food. Green plant use green pigments called chlorophyll which is present in the leaf. Chlorophyll is present in the leaf with the help of which plant make the food. The process photosynthesis. So as you see in the chart, it is given photosynthesis chart, sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, minerals, okay. Or carbon dioxide enter the leaves through stomata, tiny holes in the leaves, okay. So carbon dioxide the plant take from the stomata, then sunlight from the sun, water and minerals from the soil, okay. Chlorophyll which is present in the leaf, all together this form and make process photosynthesis, okay. So photosynthesis is a process by which plant make their own food. For this they also take the help of non-living things. So we'll understand here, plant is the living part of the environment. Now the plant will depend on non-living things like sunlight, water, soil, carbon dioxide from air. They all are non-living part of the environment. Without these all parts, plant will be unable to make their own food. Means photosynthesis will not occur. If sunlight is not there, if water is not there, if soil is not there, carbon dioxide is not there. So these all are non-living part. Without these, plant will be unable to make their food. Okay. So plant as a living component depends on non-living components. The right side you see carbon dioxide from air, water from the soil, and sunlight from the sun. These all are non-living component which plant depend on it. Next is a consumer. Unlike plants, animals cannot make their own food. We also cannot make our own food. They depend on plants directly or indirectly for their food. Therefore, they are called consumer because they consume the plant or plant products. Now, consumer are non-living components like, now we are also dependent on non-living components like water. Every living organism needs water, okay? The plants, the animals, the birds, they also need water for the survival. So, water is a non-living part. Oxygen, again, it is a non-living part. So we are also dependent, consumer are also dependent on non-living part for their survival. Okay, so here in the box it is given consumer. Who are consumer? Organisms that get their energy from eating other organisms. Okay, like plants also, plant products, or animal products also. Now consumers are of various category. So number one, herbivores. Animals which eat only plants or plant products are called herbivores. They are called grass eating animals. As you see in the picture, the cow is grazing the grass. So the cow is coming in herbivores. Sheep, goat, buffalo, deer and camel, they all are herbivores. Now the special features, teeth, they have sharp incisor in front and flat molars for grinding at back. Next category is the carnivores. Animals which eat other animals are called carnivores. They are called flesh eating animals because they eat flesh of other animals like lion, tiger, vulture, jackal, dog. Now the teeth, the characteristic of the teeth is the teeth have means sharp canines they have, like herbivores were having sharp incisor, they were not having canines because they are used for biting the teeth, okay, food. Now the carnivores is lacking incisor, they have sharp canines because they have to tear the flesh. As you see in the picture, the leopard is hunting the deer, okay, so will eat the flesh of the deer. So they are coming in carnivores. Now animals which eat both plants and animals are called omnivores. Example, human being, bear, crow. Okay, we human being are omnivores because as you see in the picture, we eat vegetables also, fruits also, milk product which is coming from animal, fish. Okay, so we eat both plant and plant products and animals products. So we are coming in omnivores. Next are the scavengers. Scavengers are the category of animals that feed mainly on flesh of dead animals. Okay, those who eat flesh of dead animals. They are called cleaners of environment. You see the vulture eating the flesh of the person is there. Okay, the person is dead. That's why cleaning the environment by eating the flesh. So that's why they are given the name cleaner of the environment. Example, jackal, crow, vulture and hyenas are some examples of scavengers. Next comes the decomposers. The dead and decaying remains of plants and animals. Now suppose the plants and animal die, okay? They remain in the environment. Now who will break them down into smaller pieces? The microorganism, Okay, microorganisms means the organisms which we cannot see with our naked eyes, means we cannot see with our eyes. We can see them with the help of microscope. That's why they are very small in size and shape. That's why it is known as microorganism, like bacteria and fungi. They are called decomposers. You see in the picture, the bacteria and fungi picture is there. They eat, means they eat the dead remains of plants and animals and break them into small pieces, and it get mixed in the soil. Decomposers are very important for environment as they break down the dead matter into nutrients. So the dead matter which they break down, that mix in the soil, and that soil is now fertile, means lot of nutrient is there for the plant to grow properly and to be healthy. So they also prevent dead and waste matter from piling. Now next come the food chain. A chain that shows how plants, animals and human depends on each other. So it is a chain which show how plants and animals are depend on each other. That chain is known as food chain because they are dependent for food. That's why it is known as food chain. Here is an example. The grasshopper eat grass or leaves. As you see in the image, the grass is eaten by grasshopper. Now the frog eats the grasshopper. Now the grasshopper is eaten by the frog. Frog is eaten by snake and the snake is eaten by eagle. Okay. So the grasshopper food is grass. Frog food is grasshopper. Snake food is frog. Eagle food is snake. So these are the food interlinked. Okay, that's why this interlinked of the food is known as food chain. Okay, so a food chain shows the feeding relationship between different living organisms in the environment. Plant is also living organism, grasshopper, frog, snake, all are living organisms. They are dependent on each other for their food. So this form a chain, okay, for the food. That's why it is name given food chain. Now same it is described here. Producer, grass are the producer, okay, with the help of sun, light and water they make food. Now grasshopper will eat the producer, frog will eat the grasshopper. Now you see the grasshopper is primary consumer because the grasshopper will eat the grass, okay. Now frog is also consumer but it is secondary consumer because frog will eat the grasshopper. Now snake, the again it is consumer tertiary because the third position he will eat the frog, okay, and the final consumer is the hawk. It is given. Finally, the snake is eaten by the hawk. When hawk will die, the decomposers, means the bacteria and fungi, will decompose the flesh of the hawk and get mixed up in the soil. So this form the food chain. Next is the food web. Now when many food chain are interconnected, they make a food web. Now as you see in the picture, so many food chain are interconnected. Okay, so they form a web like structure. That's why it is name given food web. Sometimes a single organism get eaten by many predators. Okay, like see berries is eaten by green fly also. It is eaten by butterfly also. It is eaten by titmice also. It is eaten by grasshopper also. Okay, so many predators. Now this is when food chain doesn't represent the energy flow in a proper manner, means not in a straight manner, in a puzzle way, that is known as, now that food chain becomes food web. Okay, it shows the interaction between different organisms in an ecosystem. Okay, as you see the berries is eaten by titmice. Okay, the titmice is eaten by frog. Now the titmice will be eaten by snake also. Okay, so here so many food chain are interlinked. The left side you see the 3 linked food chain. In a normal pathway it is shown straight. Second also straight 4 linked food chain means carrot, rabbit, fox, lion. This is 4 linked food chain. in which 4 things are required. Now last is 5 linked food chain. Okay, 5 is there. Number 1 grass, number 2 grasshopper, number 3 frog, number 4 pythons, number 5th eagle. So this is known as 5 linked food chain. Okay, they are very clear in a straight line, and the right side you see the food chain is jumbled up, they make a puzzles. Okay, so this is now this food chain become food web. Okay, so this is the difference between food chain and food web. So many food chain combines and gave food web. Now interdependence of living organism. Animal depends on plants for food. Now you see we are eating food. For shelter, now birds, tree are their shelter, house. Oxygen given out during photosynthesis. Okay, as you see in the image right side, oxygen is given out which is utilized by the goat. We also utilize oxygen. Okay, now these are animal depends on plants. Now plants depend on animals for nutrients which are provided by dead remains. Means the animal will die, the microorganism will break down, it will get mixed up in the soil will become fertile, and in that plant will grow and take the nutrients from the soil. Carbon dioxide, you see in the image, cow gives carbon dioxide which is used by the plant. Next is pollination. See the butterfly sitting on the flower and another flower which help in pollination. If pollination will occur, then only fertilization will take place. Fertilization will take place, then only seed formation, fruit will be there. If seed will be grown, will be there, then only we can get new plants. So pollination is very important. And seed dispersal. Now seed is produced, now it has to be dispersed to different places for the germination. Now animals, you see the goat is grazing, the seed gets stuck, see on the fur of the animals, and wherever the goat will shed that seed, during favorable condition the seed will germinate and it will grow into new plants. Thus plants and animals depends on each other for their survival. This leads to balance in nature. This make a balancing in nature. So this was interdependence of living organism, how animal depends on plant and how plant depends on animal. Now causes of imbalance. In the previous slide we saw balance in nature. Now what are the causes of imbalance in nature? So the factor which cause imbalance in nature are deforestation, means cutting down of tree. See the person is cutting the tree. This is known as deforestation. So means if the tree is cut, what will happen? We will not get oxygen, level of carbon dioxide also will increase, okay, and level of oxygen will decrease. Photosynthesis will not occur. If no photosynthesis, no food formation, no food, flower formation, seed, okay, because plants will only give these all things. So deforestation leads to imbalance in nature. Next, land and water pollution. Okay, it also causes imbalance in nature. As you see, the water gets polluted, we throw the garbage, all the waste thing in the water. The marine creatures, the fish or the aquatic plants, they die because of the dirt. Okay, lands also get polluted because the land, if it will get polluted, so you see the garbage is thrown in the land only, the soil will become infertile, and in that infertile soil the plants will not grow. If no plants, we will not get plants product, and no oxygen, carbon dioxide level will increase, which will lead to global warming and which will cause to disaster. Forest fire. Okay, these also a cause of imbalance in nature. Forest fire. Hunting. Human activities are the main causes which upset the balance in nature. We human are only the cause of imbalance in nature, because you see deforestation also, human are only cutting the trees for their necessity. We are only throwing land and on the land and water, the garbage, the dust. Okay. Forest fire is also caused by our negligence. Hunting, you see, the person is only hunting the animals. So these are the causes of imbalance in nature which we have to stop it. Thank you for watching my presentation. Do subscribe my channel and like my video for further notification. Thank you. Have a nice day.